everybody, how are you? I hope you are well. Last week, one of my connections asked me about the equator line. Are we able to grow the saffron in the equator line? The countries that are located in the equator line, from this is some region in the Colombia, Ecuador, Indonesia, Kiribati, some region in the Kenya, and Congo and the Gabon. In this country, they are located in the equator line. My answer, not only you are able to grow the saffron, you are able twice experience flowering. You can experience twice flowering per year due to the climate condition they have. What is the definition of the equator line? In this country, we don't have any special season like the northern country, like the northern country and the southern hemisphere. There is not any, for example, like the winter, like the summer. Right there, they experience the temperature between the 25 to 30 centigrade with the heavy rain. They are humid country, and they are able in the growing saffron indoors. But they are able to grow saffron, but growing saffron indoors. Why? The majority of country in the northern and southern hemisphere, except the Arabic country that the weather very hot, or the Canada, the temperature is very low. The majority of countries we are able to grow saffron outdoors. But in these countries, we are not able to grow saffron outdoors because we have the rainy weather in the 12 months of the year. We have the completely rainy weather because the saffron bulbs in the 3 months of the summer, in the northern hemisphere, June, July, August, in the southern hemisphere, December, January, February. In this country, in these months, the saffron bulbs shouldn't face with any water, not regular rainy weather. For example, here in Australia, every 2 weeks in the summer, we face with rain. This rain doesn't provide problem for the bulb that they are in the soil, that they are in the dormancy. Because in the dormancy, saffron bulb doesn't have any activity, any roots, any leaves. Because when the water face regular, for example, when the soil completely wet, bulb doesn't have activity. They are not able to absorb the water, and all the bulb face with the fungal disease. Exactly like the Germany. Germany also, we have in the summer 24 hours, 7 weeks. We have the 7 days, we have the rainy weather. In this country, not suitable. In the equator line that mentioned, they are able easily, they can experience twice flowering. Due to the weather, they have 25 centigrade to 30 centigrade. Even it doesn't need pay a lot of money for the advanced air handling unit, for the heating system, for the cooling system. They are able with a simple. In the larger scale, yes, they should buy air handling unit. But even in this case, the energy cost like electricity is not very high because the outside climate help them for the energy bill will be very low for this country because it doesn't work, and the weather help, and the difference between outside and indoor very near. Let's continue. In which country suitable for the growing saffron indoors? Maybe the question is, okay, I'm grow saffron inside, therefore the weather should not interfere, and I don't have any work with the outside temperature because this is completely covered with the panel, with the air handling unit. This is the biggest mistake because the panel, when you have the good weather outside, this is very helpful for you. Air handling unit works less, helps to the panel. You can keep temperature. But if the weather from the outside, temperature, for example, 60 centigrade or the minus, you should pay energy consumption. You should pay money for the electricity, for the gas. But if the weather outside be very good, like Australia, like Equator country, like some region for example, some region in Spain, some region in Morocco, some region in the Turkey, this is some region, for example, Kashmir, this is very suitable for me. Yes, is it true? Everything is a cover, I don't have any work with the outside, but this is very helpful for the electricity bill will be very low when the weather and the air handling unit work less. Now, in the world map, which country are suitable for the growing saffron indoors? At the first, you should know what is the task? You know, my task is the temperature, the CO2, the humidity, and the light. First step, the most important thing is temperature. Temperature in the growing saffron indoors is my God. Therefore, CO2, humidity in the may play the 3%, 2%. I don't want, they are not important, but these the main causes of the flowering. Therefore, the climate is very important for me. That is much better for me. You know, the CO2, humidity, light. Don't waste your money, don't waste your time with these, but you should know what is the correct number, but don't waste your money, especially in the light system, in the humidifier and the CO2. Temperature is very important. In the climate causes the temperature. My task in the growing saffron indoor, always I should control the temperature between the 6 centigrade to 28 centigrade. Anytime, any day that I tell you which temperature you should control, all the 12 months of the year, anytime you should able to control this temperature. If you are able, any time of the day, any time of the week, you are able to control the temperature between 6 to 28 centigrade, you can have the best yield. In the country, the climate that is near this temperature, that means the energy consumption will be very low for you. This is a very good news. Therefore, in this country, the energy consumption very low. Also, the risk of the high temperature is very low. We have two issues. One of them is the energy consumption, because beside the labor force plays important role. And another thing, losing your products. For example, if you couldn't control temperature, you lose you lose your products. Okay? Now, I want to tell you in which countries suitable and the risk of the growing saffron is the worst scenario happens. You know, let me give you an example. This is your task, okay? 6 to 28 centigrade anytime. Sometimes saffron is to 28 centigrade, sometimes 70 centigrade. Anytime that is needed, you should provide this temperature. It means you shouldn't have fluctuation. But if you have the fluctuation, if you couldn't control to any reason, it's much better the fluctuation be in the low temperature. For example, in the Canada, if electricity breakdown, if you lost the power, if you have the problem and you couldn't control temperature, and instead of the 20 centigrade, temperature go to the 4 centigrade, 2 centigrade, you don't lose your product. You face with a small problem, you shouldn't provide, you should exactly in the times that you need temperature 20 centigrade, you should control. But any reason, for 2 days, 3 days, if you lost the electricity, your power, and the temperature, instead of the 20 centigrade, went to the 4 centigrade, 5 centigrade, you shouldn't be worried. Shouldn't be happen, you should predict everything. For example, generator or like this. But any reason, you don't lose your saffron, you don't lose product. But if temperature should be 23 centigrade, and any reason, instead in Canada, you live in the, for example, UAE. If you lost the power, and if the chiller doesn't work, and temperature instead the 23 centigrade goes to the 26 centigrade, 27 centigrade, very clear, you should say goodbye for all your saffron bulbs. You should take them out, because even for the 2 days, for the 1 day, you should not allow to the increasing temperature. Therefore, that is very clear. This is your task. When I told you the temperature should be 20 centigrades for 3 days, should be 20 centigrade. This is everything calculated, and this is helpful for you for the increasing year. But even the temperature, anytime in the country that they are cold region, Germany, Canada, Denmark, Sweden, Italy, and this country, Sweden and Denmark and Slovakia and Romania, in this temperature that has a hard winter, that is very clear, the risk of the losing saffron is very low. Very low. You see the risk is energy consumption is very low. Also, the risk of the losing the saffron if sometimes if you face with problem, because the problem everything happen and unexpected happening will happen, unexpected things will happen, and therefore you should know they are not dangerous country. But for the you should know this is not dangerous country like Canada, Germany, and the country that mentioned. But we have some countries like some region in the India, Arabic countries, like some region in the South America, some region in the Africa, that temperature, if in the winter we have the minimum temperature is the 20 centigrade. Temperature in the summer goes to the 40 centigrade. These are some region in the India. This is the dangerous because any problem for your electricity, for your device, for your machine, for your air handling unit, for your chiller, you should say goodbye with your saffron bulb. Therefore, if you want to, even in your country, you are finding a location, find the cold climate. Yes, everything is covered, but the cold climate helpful for the decreasing the risk of the problem and also the energy consumption. Saffron needs cold temperature, but sometimes needs to the high temperature. You should know this is the country. I hope this be helpful for you. The category that added to my new version of my book in the February, I have added a complete standard of business plan. Everything is very complete. For the first time I have done this with this edition. If you need this new version of my book, complete receive the sample standard of the business plan, text me on WhatsApp 0098 935 825 3945. Thank you.